You're on the court, you're locked in, and you're ready for game day. You're so excited for season to finally begin until bam, just like that, school season's already over. You're sad and you wish you had the opportunity to play the sport you love all year round. I have the solution for you: club sports. Not only do you get to play the sport you love all year round, but there are also many other benefits. Those including exposure to college coaches who could offer you potential scholarships. It could be a huge financial aid for you and your family. Next is developing the important life skill of time management. And lastly, you can develop your skills on the court through new coaching styles and techniques. Those are the positives, but there are also some negatives to club sports. Those including how expensive it can be to play a club sport. It can be a huge financial stress for you and your family. Next is how overwhelming club sports can be. It's a huge time commitment that many families don't know how to deal with. Although those are the negatives, the positives will outweigh them every time. The cost to pay for college is a heavy burden on many families. Even a couple $1,000s off of a tuition can be huge in aiding that financial burden. Athletics and academics are two of the top reasons that many people receive college scholarships. Playing at the next level is a huge deal and an opportunity that many don't receive. I personally can say I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to play at the next level, and the best way to do it is through club sports. According to ncsasports.org, club sports is known to give athletes a huge advantage in the recruiting process. With it being offered all year round, it allows for consistent skill development, and it can allow for college coaches to evaluate athletes. College coaches are usually found at club tournaments, as it allows them to evaluate a large number of athletes in a single day. A study done by NCSA of current college athletes suggests that club sports was huge in their recruiting process. In some of the most popular sports like volleyball, 91% of the athletes played club sports. In basketball, 92% of the women and 91% of the men. In soccer, 88% of women and 77% of men. And lastly, in softball, 94% of women and 85% of the men played in club sports. As the percentages show, if it's your dream to play the sport you love in college, or if you just really want your college paid for through your athletics, the best way to do it is through club sports. Now that we've talked about the financial aid of club sports, let's move on to how it can develop your time management skills. The average student who endures the 8-hour school day is filled with stress. They miss their assignment, they have so much homework, and they just want to spend time with their family and friends. Well, imagine adding a sport on top of that. After school, you head to practice instead of having free time like many of the other kids. That's why being a student athlete is one of the best ways to develop your time management skills. After practice, you head home, eat dinner, shower, do your homework, spend time with your family and friends, all while getting to bed at a good time. Now imagine that year-round. According to the bluebanner.net, they believe that many student athletes have an insane amount of stress in their lives. There's not only performance pressure in the classroom, but also on the court or field. Many club athletes have to travel or have other commitments that will take them away from the classroom. This means they have to find out their own time to make missing work. Upon the burden of making up missing work, they also need to be able to find the balance of performing on their sport, spending time with their loved ones, and on top of all of it, remaining sane. It's a lot to handle, but that's the real world, right? Average students have a heavy workload and it can cause a lot of stress, but when you add sports on top of it and play year-round, it forces and teaches athletes how to manage their time in order to perform in the classroom and on the court. Now that we've talked about developing time management skills, let's move on to how you can develop your skills on the court. The level of club sports is intense and engaging. The environment is filled with hard workers who actually care to improve their skills. This environment can in turn improve your skills and could boost your physicality and athleticism on the court. According to the same ncsasports.org that I mentioned previously, they believe that club coaches are way better compared to high school coaches, as they are licensed professionals who are passionate enough to dedicate such a significant amount of time to that sport. It's worth your money to know you're paying for a qualified coach. With club sports being year-round, it allows for consistent skill development that can only be found at the club level. I personally believe club volleyball has been huge for my development, and it's been done at a continuous rate. According to NebraskaElite.org, which is the club that I play for, they trust in quality repetition at a continuous rate and fundamental skill development. A study done by the club shows that it takes 3,000 reps to make a good habit, but it can only take 1 rep to potentially make a bad habit. They believe that it takes long-term commitment and encouraging instructional coaches and in a positive work environment. They believe that through better coaching, they can create better players with better habits. Buzz! Sounds like it's the end of the game. Many athletes struggle with the beginning and ending of the season. They're sad that their school season ended, but instead of being sad, how about joining a club sport so you could play all year round? The benefits are outstanding. You can gain exposure from college coaches who could offer you potential scholarships. It's a huge financial aid. Next, you can develop your time management skills, which is a huge life skill. And last but not least, you can learn to develop your skills on the court through new coaching styles and techniques. Next time you're sad about your school season ending, stop crying and join a club sport.